Hello and welcome to the online parent digital citizenship training. I'm Danette Brown, the Verizon Innovative School Coach. What is the Verizon Innovative Learning? It is mostly made up of three components: devices, access, training, and curriculum. The devices is every student and teacher is provided with an iPad. The device belongs to the school, but students take it home to complete assignments and projects. The access through Verizon is they provide 5 gigs of data each month. And the training and curriculum, teachers and students are provided with training to ensure safe and effective use of technology and to achieve academic success. iPad expectations. Each student will receive an iPad with a case, charging brick, and charging cord. Students will be responsible to bring a fully charged iPad to school every day, travel with their iPad in a drawstring bag or other designated bag, carry only the iPad and charger in that bag, complete digital citizenship lessons, similar to what we're doing here, but in a little bit more depth in the classroom. Students will take care of their iPads. Now, we have a different policy for iPad breakage this year, so I want you to listen closely to this. If students do not have any breaks the entire school year, their name will go in a drawing for a prize at the end of the year. Most of our students did not have any breaks in their iPads the whole year, so that's awesome. One break may be an accident and your iPad will be repaired. 2 breaks and the student turns into a day user, so they will only be able to use their iPad at school. They won't be able to take it home. And 3 breaks, the student will not be able to use an iPad at all. So anything they previously did on the iPad, they will have to do the old-fashioned way with paper and pencil. Parents, we also need your help. If you could monitor iPad use at home to be sure you know what your son is working on. Assist students so that they use the 5 gigs of data to do school assignments. Remind students that they need to have their iPads charged each evening so that they're ready for school the next day. Help them find a secure location to keep their iPad in each day. Okay, this is about lost or stolen materials. And the prices are on there if anyone loses any of the parts that they're given to replace those. Right away, if you notice that your iPad, your son's iPad is missing, please contact myself or Mr. Gunn. We can put that in lockdown mode so that if someone did take it or if it is lost somewhere, I can put a message on it that says it belongs to the Du Bois Academy. Please return, and have a phone number on there. And then if it is stolen, we need you to report that just like you would report anything else that is stolen from you by contacting the Louisville police. We would also like for you to contact myself and Mr. Gunn. Okay, being a good digital citizen. A lot of people think, well, we'll just not let them use the technology at all if it seems to be dangerous or if there's so many problems with it. We like to use this quote in technology. We can't teach them how to swim if we never put them in the water. So just like swimming, if you don't let them use technology, they're never going to learn to use the technology. Now, we're guaranteed they're going to make mistakes. We all do. But we will be there to help and support them through the mistakes. The best way for them not to make as many mistakes is to make sure that they have all of the information they need up front before they can face any of those mistakes. Okay, here's just a little tidbit of information. Let's see how many of you can guess this one. How many hours per week does the average American child between the ages of 8 and 18 spend with media and technology? Do you think 35 hours, 45 hours, 53 hours, or 77? The correct answer is C, 53 hours. That is amazing. That is like having a full-time job plus overtime. Okay, the next thing that we want to talk about are privacy and security information. We do want to emphasize that the school-issued device is a school device, so it has school accounts on it and school materials. There should not be any personal accounts on there at all. Also, be sure that there are no personal photos or personal videos of family or anybody that you would not want your son to share at school. If it's things that he can share, that's fine, but just be cognizant that things will be shared on that iPad, so just be careful of what's on there. Okay, another issue that sometimes causes people problems is called phishing. And phishing is where people send you an email to try to get information from you. An example is a person who has nothing to do with PayPal might send you an email with a made-up address, and even the logo looks like it's from PayPal. They'll ask you to fill out information or to change your password. This link really isn't from PayPal. The link is taking you to a site where they are stealing your information. If someone calls or emails you for information, you need to be really skeptical about it. You might even want to hang up on them or exit out of the site until you know it's a site that you can trust. Okay, and we want to make sure that students really are careful about that, because sometimes things will pop up and says you could win an iPad or you could win something. Most of those are phishing to either collect information from students, or sometimes they even have viruses in them. Okay, with photo ethics, we want to make sure that students are asking permission before they take photos of people with their iPads, and that goes for videos as well. And then information sharing. Many times teachers will have students working collaboratively in their rooms, so they will want to share information. Other times students have the ability to airdrop things to other students or to teachers. We want to make sure that they are not doing that on their own, because it is distracting, especially during class time. So unless they have permission to airdrop a picture, graphic, documents, anything to one another or to the teacher, they should not be sharing information like that. Okay, the next thing that we want to talk about is a digital tattoo. Now, we are no longer calling this a digital footprint. The reason for that is a tattoo is much harder to get rid of than a footprint. And information that is online, that people put online, is really difficult to get rid of. Do you know any 6th or 7th graders or younger who have a social media account? If you do, those children have not told the truth about their age when they set up that social media account. And I'm not pointing this out to make them feel bad or get them in trouble. I'm pointing this out to illustrate how easy it is to create an account. It would be super easy to get a picture of a random 12-year-old and create an account pretending to be that person. Someone could look on a school's website and find names of teams in grade levels. They could go on the sports page and find names of students. If you ask your son if a person they had never seen before knew the names of all the teachers at your school and some of their friends' names, would that person be a complete stranger? And the answer should be yes. Many times children think that's all right because they know people that they know, but it is really not okay. They could be looking up that information and posing as someone else. Now, when it says on there, what are the consequences now and later, we want to make sure that students understand that there are consequences for what they post right now. All of their actions have consequences. The ones now could be losing iPad privileges, having a parent phone call. You might ground them for something that they have done online that was inappropriate. But they also need to know of the consequences later, because a lot of colleges and businesses are looking for digital traces of people online when they apply for jobs, when they apply for college. So even what you're doing now and what your sons are doing now could affect them later in life. So they need to be aware of that. And a little activity that you could do with them is in a Google search, put their name in parentheses and hit that search bar and see if anything comes up. If nothing really comes up, then you're doing a good job protecting your digital credibility, your reputation. If some things come up on there, make sure it's nothing that you think should be private, but it could be eye-opening. So just a little activity if you'd like to do that sometime. And then some advice, follow the newspaper rule. If you don't want something written down, if you don't want it on the front page of the newspaper, if you don't want it to show on WDRB News on the TV, then make sure you are not putting it on the internet. Because if you post something on the internet, it's just like you just went public with something on the TV. Anyone can access it because it's there, and it's there for a very long time. Okay, something else that we need to be cognizant about is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is very different than traditional bullying because it can take place 24 hours a day. When it is used, a child might be bullied in one particular area of their life. But it can happen all the time. They could be sitting having dinner and have their phone there and they're being bullied. It could be on a game. When they're in bed at night, their phone could be buzzing. Somebody could be bullying them. Cyberbullying reaches a wide audience, much wider than just somebody in class maybe having an issue with bullying. Sometimes it even reaches unintended audiences. Other people see the bullying going on. Students need to be really careful when they're gaming. It can be a dangerous place for cyberbullying. So many games these days are social activities where children are talking to each other, talking trash about each other, and we don't really want them interacting with other children that way. And even sometimes there could be grown-up people who are playing those games and saying things that are inappropriate. So we just want to be really careful about that. Also, they could post embarrassing information. Information maybe that your son didn't mean to share or shared it as something funny, but now somebody's holding it against him and they're showing the information online. Some things that they can do to respond to a cyberbully is immediately leave the website where they are. They could also block the person or sender before it gets too bad. Oftentimes it's good to save and print the information so that there's evidence in case the authorities need to be called about it. Good rule of thumb is never reply, because usually that just encourages the cyberbully to keep going. And then sometimes it's nice to be able to talk to a friend about it, to get some advice, even to get yourself built back up, and then encourage them to talk to a trusted adult, somebody that can help them with the situation. Okay, and then anything that you need more information about, this Common Sense Media is an awesome website. It has some information for educators, and sometimes we get lessons from there, but it has a ton of information about being safe online for parents as well. Okay, if you have any questions at all about the iPads or any of the information that I've shared, please don't hesitate to email me. And then I wanted to thank you for your time and support of our iPad program. Please be sure to fill out the completion form so you'll receive credit for the online training. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we appreciate your support.